York, some things have reached a level where various subreddits have emerged to follow and explore the drill music scene and true crime. Specifically, there is a subreddit focused on the Bronx drill scene that has named the Bronx area Bronx, Afghanistan, drawing comparisons to Middle Eastern conflicts. Following a precedent set by Chicago, which has been referred to as Chirac due to its mix with Iraq, this famous subreddit focuses on the Chicago drill scene, thus earning its name Chirac. Amidst this, new emerging young artists like Didi Osama, known as David Deshaun Reyes, have appeared. Didi Osama is one of 6 siblings, with 2 other siblings also being rappers named J-Star Bala and NOTTI Osama. These siblings were very close, particularly Didi and NOTTI, who were born only 14 months apart. Their mother worked in real estate when their father was not present, and Didi and NOTTI grew up not in the Bronx, but in Harlem's Sugar Hill area, which is very close, crossing the river from the South Bronx. This is the area where you can see NOTTI and Didi in one of their music videos on 149th Street. Currently, Sugar Hill is known as the name used by local gangs, as well as OY, or Original Youngins, a gang established in Sugar Hill in the mid-2000s, representing there. Rap always played a significant role in the brothers' lives, especially for NOTTI, who truly began rapping early and released his first song in 2019 when he was only 11 years old. His early songs are still available on SoundCloud, showing that NOTTI was still new to rapping. Shortly after NOTTI began rapping, both brothers were jumping from balconies and moving around the streets. It's said that Didi and NOTTI started representing their local OY gang by following in the footsteps of their older brother, J-Star Bala. In an interview, Didi explains how his brothers influenced him in rap. The video of these brothers was circulating on platforms like Reddit, showcasing how Didi and NOTTI were associating with the Mach Bala group, a Bronx-oriented, blood-affiliated gang set from the early 2000s. Currently, it is one of the gangs represented by some members in New York. The OY gang was formed after the major gang called Young Gunners, or YGs, split. Founded by someone named Juther, whose real name is Joshua Perez, along with other founding members in the mid-2000s. According to some sources, the group initially started working in the Mott Haven houses, one of many government housing projects in the Mott Haven area of the South Bronx, as well as the Patterson houses in Mott Haven. Subsequently, other sets continued in different Bronx projects, such as River Park Towers and ultimately Sugar Hill in Harlem, where they called themselves the YGFS, or Young Gunners from Sugar Hill. However, due to some internal politics, Sugar Hill ceased its association with the gang and formed a new group called Original Young Gunners, abbreviated as OYGs. This was later shortened to OR. This later became known as Original Youngins, or simply OY. OY in Sugar Hill controls territory in the whole neighborhood, with rivalries against groups like K-Flock, Sev Side, D-Thang's River Park Towers, and others. Some of their intense disputes are reported from YG's sets in the Bronx, such as RPT and Mott Haven, also known as the Have or 43rd. This beef is one of OY's oldest, starting after they split from YG's. Some supporters think this beef is outdated, especially among current rappers. An example of YG's and OY's beef turning deadly is the death of Wu Lottie from Mott Haven, a good friend of D-Thang. Allegedly, Wu Lottie, along with 2 other YGs, was lurking for ops in Sugar Hill, including famous rapper Shahjeez, when an OY car filled from Sugar Hill suddenly arrived. Inside were reportedly members named Dolo Kev, OY Rundown, Sugar Hill Smokey, and Run It Up. They leaped out, chased Wu Lottie and his friends, and after Wu Lottie reportedly stumbled in a heartbreaking manner, he was beaten and stabbed, eventually losing his life. This attack truly showed their determination to chase Wu Lottie down, as video footage even shows them urging him to stop running while being attacked. Wu Lottie's death is among the most referenced deaths in New York incidents because he was beloved in YG's, as well as being intensely hated by adversaries. Indeed, many rappers have dissed Wu Lottie since that day, including Shahjeez's notable mention in his song Deadly, where he boasts of visiting Shahjeez's bar and rapping about Lottie's murder. This death and the ensuing disses have become a huge part of the beef narrative in the following months, adding to various Sugar Hill beefs initiated in recent years. These beefs often seem to stem from minor disputes, like the bridge beef between Sugar Hill and Sev's Side. Originally, both gangs were cool, with influential rapper Baby from Sugar Hill often live streaming with Sev's Side Ops before chilling with K Flock himself. A member named Wu Lottie from RPT, Sev's Side started dissing who was reportedly preparing for Part 2 in response. The next day, a Facebook post also revealed frustration about his friend hanging with an RPT member from Sugar Hill, showing open displeasure. OY and Sev's Side continued dissing each other, further inflamed by K Flock's infamous murder of Waska from Sugar Hill. Another recent and seemingly unnecessary beef of Sugar Hill started with a gang called OGs. Another gang formed around the early to mid-2000s by a guy named Melly Mel Ball. This gang separated from YGs and originates from larger Bronx projects like Melrose Houses, Jackson Houses, and Marana Air Rights, infamously known as the Vietnam Projects. In 2020, OY aligned with OGs to form a solid group known as OYOGs. This group emerged strongly, with rappers like Sha EK and Didi Osama from OYOGs achieving prominence in 2022, dominating the New York scene. Especially after K Flock's arrest in connection to Waska's murder, their music videos garnered millions of views. The OYOG's crew provided more beef for Sugar Hill. Sha EK, OG's biggest rapper, would have a feud with his former boss, Big KVH, but despite the debacle, KVH allegedly still posted a video pretending to be managing Sha EK. This naturally angered Sha EK, who then went live, dissing him. This beef then expands to involve artists that KVH still manages, such as Brooklyn-based rap group Pt.1, rappers like Kyle Rich, who takes to Instagram dissing Sha EK, saying Sha EK's old boss paid for all his songs. D-Bills, another Pt.1 affiliate, would then drop a track called OG's K alongside rapper Blockwork. The song, called OG's K, was a diss not only on Sha EK, but the whole gang. Sha EK claims he doesn't have any money, and Blockwork uses his verse to claim he's OG's K, meaning the OG's killer. This led to OY getting involved as they naturally took OG's side. NOTTI, DD, and other OY would then drop a track titled 41K. Although this beef did not cause much uproar in the streets, the beef with OY, 41, would later become very important in Nadi Osama's story, as the track 41K really cements Nadi as extremely irreverent. While his other tracks are by no means free of disses, this one takes it to another level. In the song, Nadi disses Lil TJ's late best friend, Smelly, who got killed for cycling. Apparently in 2016, Smelly sold a bike to a civilian, but after that date, he decided he wanted it back. Smelly, along with a couple of his friends, then allegedly started a fight in an attempt to get the bike back, which ended with the civilian stabbing Smelly to death. Apparently, Lil TJ was even there when this went down, and he actually raps about the incident in his song No Escape from his album True to Myself. How he wished he could go back in the day because his friend may still be here. Sadly, Smelly wasn't the only dead op Nadi dissed in 41K, because he'd also take a shot at YG's dead member Raw G, acting like Raw G's nearly leaving him falling in a hammer. The implication of this diss is that in the summer of 2021, when the gang wars in the Bronx were extremely hot, many teenagers were killed in just a few days. On July 7th, a 19-year-old aspiring rapper named Ty Swish, real name Taken Boys, was shot in the head. According to some news sources, a boy at the crime scene, 13-year-old Jarian Elliott, also known as J. Ripk, is allegedly connected to Sev's side. 4 days later, on July 11th, J. Ripk was shot and killed in broad daylight. 2 boys have been charged with the murder, 16-year-old Jahil Khalif and 18-year-old Justin Baez, who police will describe as retaliation for the killing of Ty Swish. But later that same day, around 11:30 p.m., Raji's an 800 member sitting in a taxi that slows down to stop in traffic, when suddenly 2 men on scooters speed past and Raji's head shot at point-blank range, killing him. Again, the killing was caught on camera. In the video, you can see Raji's falling to the side after being shot, which is a reference to when NOTTI says he leaves someone like Raji falling in a whip. Once again, the killing was considered a revenge killing, this time for the murder of J. Ripk. A significant event was the recent death of NOTTI. which occurred when a member of the 700 gang from Washington Heights confronted members of OY in broad daylight. DD even posted about the incident on his Instagram story. It is later confirmed that this member was ultimately responsible for taking Notti's life. On July 9th, 2022, street activity and dissing ultimately caught up with Notti. Around 2 p.m., Notti left DD to meet up with two friends. At around 3 p.m., Notti and his two friends were reportedly walking around 137th and Broadway when they spotted the 700 member, identified as 15-year-old Kelvin Martinez. They followed him into a subway station. Notti sprinted ahead, cornering Kelvin with his friends. Kelvin then produced a knife and began attacking Notti before stabbing him in the abdomen. One of Notti's friends appeared to stab Kelvin with a sharp object before Kelvin managed to get up and escape unharmed. Sadly, Notti collapsed at the subway platform due to his injuries and later passed away. Kelvin sustained stab wounds to his back and a cut on his knee and was transported to the hospital. Later, Kelvin's mother took him to the NYPD, where he was initially charged with second-degree murder, then upgraded to first-degree murder by the district attorney, although the charges were ultimately dropped. A distressing video of Notti's body being removed from the subway station appeared on social media, but it was too gruesome to show widely. Press reports on the incident indicated that the police found humor in briefing about the crime scene inside the subway station. The events were chilling and profoundly upsetting, imagining such a tragic loss of life. Among the youth involved that day, there was a dark and intense energy. The 137th Street City College station was the scene where young rapper Notti Osama, tragically at the age of 14, was stabbed and killed. In the months following, rivalries in the New York drill scene showed how brutally competitive things could become. Following the incident, Kelvin, who was making music under the name K. was reportedly dissing Notti, often in his music and social media. In his song, Circus Part 2, he rapped about how OY would leave on impact, referencing how Notti fell at the scene and how his body was later removed on camera. However, a more notorious diss targeting Notti came from Pt.1, a group with whom Notti had beef. In June 2022, the group's rappers Kyle Rich, Tata, and Jen Carter released a disrespectful song called Notti Bop. The lyrics overtly disrespected Notti, but it was the dance depicted in the music video that was highly disturbing. Kyle Rich explained how Notti Boppin involved the dance he created, a knee-jerk motion, simulating a knife moving from knee to knee. The music video essentially sensationalized Notti's stabbing death through dance. It was eventually taken down from YouTube, potentially due to copyright infringement with its sample from the 2000s children's series The Backyardigans, or perhaps because it violated bullying policies. However, shortly after, it was re-uploaded by another YouTube channel. This song and the dance associated with it blew up on TikTok, and soon everyone from teachers to police officers to NBA players was doing the dance without knowing the controversy behind it.